Greetings and welcome to somewhere just outside of Henfield. I got a half an hour drive to Worthing, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to discuss a hypothetical situation, a alternate reality, if you will, where instead of the Tories looking within their own ranks to replace their newly sacked Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, they looked outside the box, a little bit like they've done with David Cameron. They made him a Lord, he's now Foreign Secretary. Maybe the Tories thought, you know what? Let's get that Van Man Talks fella on as Home Secretary. Let's make him a Lord Van Man Talks. I'm sure you'll all be happy with my new crowned lordship. And they made me Home Secretary. Basically what I'm babbling about is, what would I do to solve the migrant crisis? If I was Home Secretary, what would I do? It's a hot topic in this country. Millions spent every day to house refugees. We had about 80,000 people cross the channel last year to claim asylum in this country in treacherous weather, risking their lives to come over here to claim asylum in the UK. What would I do to solve this problem? Now, it's one of those things. I don't care where you sit on the political spectrum in this country, whether you're Conservative, Labour, whatever you are. I think it's safe to say that everyone in this country hates the way the current government are dealing with it. Millions of pounds spent every single day on housing refugees in hotels, the amount of money spent on a barge, Jesus Christ, and don't get me started on the amount of money spent on this ridiculous Rwanda nonsense. We have spent so much money on this and it's just failed and failed and failed and nothing ever gets done. It's sticking plaster politics from this government. We know that. I don't care where you sit on the political spectrum. Everyone agrees with this. So what would I do differently if I was Home Secretary? If I was in charge of this, what would I do? Now, we're all going to have different opinions on this. Some of what I say you may agree with. Some you might vastly disagree with. But I can safely say I think it would be better. Anything will be better than what this current government are doing. So, day one. 8 million a day spent on hotels, ridiculous amounts of money spent on Rwanda, ridiculous amounts of money spent on a stupid barge. That has got to stop. That has got to stop. Now, everyone that is in this country that is currently having an asylum claim, I would pump as much money into the asylum system as possible to clear the backlog. Just get it back to the same levels that we had in 2010, with the same amount of staff, with the same amount of revenue spent on asylum, on the asylum system, to just get the backlog cleared, so we don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of people living in limbo in hotels, waiting for asylum claim, not being able to work. It's ridiculous. Makes no sense. Day one, I would do that. Then I would go over to France and I would build an asylum centre where people can claim asylum for the UK in France. The French are happy for us to do this. They said that we can build a centre over there. That would stop border crossings straight away. Now, what I would do when people are filing to claim asylum in the UK, I would basically just go out to all these folks and say, look, who wants to work? Who's here because they want to work? Because you know what, I'm sick and tired of this rhetoric that we hear all the time when refugees are coming over. You hear the comments, why is it all young men? Why is it all young, working, fighting age men? Where's the women and children? These are just such ignorant, ill-informed comments. The reason it's young men is because the journey to get there is more dangerous than the situation that they have back home. They're not going to put their women and children through the treacherous journey from the Middle East to Calais. They're not going to do that. They're there to try and find work and send money back to their families to make a better life for them. That is why they're there, and that's why it's young men. 99.999% of people that are in that situation, in the camps in Calais, they want to work. They want to work. And we have several problems. We have lots of problems in this country, in the UK. One of which is a shortage in labour in certain areas. What the hell is that in the middle of the road? Someone's tyre. Jesus, that's not... There we go. We have a shortage of labour, especially in industries like farming. Since Brexit, you know, we had seasonal workers come over from the EU, like countries like Poland, Romania and stuff like that. We have a mega shortage of farm workers and other industries as well. And I would go over to France and I would say, who wants to work? Who wants to come over and work straight away and send some money back home while you claim asylum in the UK. And also by having an asylum centre in France, we can check who we're bringing in as well. We can pick the genuine people. Criminals, we can do background checks. When people are just coming over on dinghies, we don't know who they are, what they want. Okay, let's pick the people to come over that generally need our help, and wean out the criminals and things like that. And the vision that I'd have is replacing what we had before with the seasonal workers coming over. The sort of facilities that they had, I don't know whether you've ever looked into this, but you know, seasonal farm workers that used to come over, we had great facility, we had accommodation on site, because this is half the problem why we can't fill these vacancies with British workers, because they're out in the middle of nowhere in the sticks. There's no travel network. We don't have the public transport in order to get British people to these jobs. That's why seasonal workers worked so well before. And I envision the same thing with the refugee crisis. These problems can go hand in hand. We can bring people over that want to work. We can set them up with accommodation on site, on the farms. They can work. They can contribute to the economy. They can pay income tax. They can pay national insurance. They can spend money in this country and pay into VAT. Currently, refugees in hotels are in limbo land. They're stuck there. They can't work. They can't do anything. It's a pointless drain on our economy. It doesn't help anyone. And we can set up a certain amount of time where we can process their asylum claim. They can get adjusted to life. We can give on-site English lessons. We can give lessons in British culture so people can better acclimatise to this culture. This is why we end up having problems with refugees in the streets, because they're stuck in limbo land in a hotel. They've got no support, no guidance. It's limbo. There's nothing. Let's get these people acclimatised to the British culture and the language, and get them set up ready to become contributing citizens to Britain. Now, like I say, this may be not for everyone. You may have different ideas. I'd love to hear your ideas in the comments down below. I really would. But it's got to be better than what we have right now, haven't we? You know, I've said my opinions on this before in certain videos, and you know, I've had comments saying that, oh God, it's like slave labour or something. No, it's not slave labour. If you go over to France and you say, do you want to work? Okay, we're not forcing anyone into the country. Do you want to work? Yes, you want to work. Great. And you know, these people are free to come and go. They will have days off. They can go out. They can go visit Big Ben and go to London. You know, it's not a prison, but it's a way that benefits everyone. These people want to work. We want to not spend 8 million a day on hotels, and actually have contributing members of society that are contributing something to our economy, and basically paying for our old age folk to have their healthcare. You know, this is one thing that I think a lot of people don't visualise when they see migrant workers coming over. When I see that, I see them working, paying for our pensioners' healthcare. Every time someone on their pension goes to get their dialysis, that's being paid for by a migrant worker. And let's get more of that attitude, and I think we will get that with this system. Anyway, I think I'm babbling too long. Oh, what's your thoughts, guys? Please give me your opinions. What would you do if you're Home Secretary for the day? Let me know. Till next time, take care. If you enjoyed the video, click a like, and if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe up top. There should be another video. You can check that one out as well. Till next time, take care.